This lesson is about building your confidence as a coach. It's probably why you're here. That's why this course is called Confident Coach. And I believe that there are three phases to you becoming a powerful, impactful coach. The first phase is certainty. You must increase your certainty, confidence, inner conviction. The second stage is influence. That's learning the tools, the frameworks, the exercises in order to be able to get results as a coach. And then the third phase or third stage is impact. That's where you scale, that's where you reach more people, that's where you expand your container and you hold a bigger space to impact more lives and raise up leaders, essentially. So the first stage here of Confident Coach is really about increasing that certainty within yourself. How do we do that? Well, first of all, we've got to go back. Like, what's in the background? What are you hiding, avoiding, and pretending not to know is there, right? So you may want to explore work around trauma, wounds, forgiveness. We want to do that inner deep healing work. We do a lot of this in Influential Coach. In the first third of the program, you learn how to be able to work through the top 10 layers that is blocking and stopping coaches from being able to build their confidence. So, you can continue on an Influential Coach after this course here. Or you might do some other practices to be able to build that confidence, right? A lot of the time we live in a hallucination. We have this story that's holding us back from who we could really be. And we keep lying to ourselves and telling us that we're something else. And this is what keeps us playing small. So you want to be able to see evidence in reality. And it doesn't have to be huge chunks of evidence, but at least some progress that when you are learning your coaching skills, when you are getting in and getting on what we call getting on the mats, right? Like imagine like you practicing on a karate mat, learning how to fight over and over again. If you ever seen Karate Kid, you see this kid that say wax on, wax off, wax on, wax off. Mr. Miyagi's like teaching him how to become more powerful by practicing and practicing. And it's true for coaching too, that you become better when you learn how to coach with different personality types, different challenges, different ways of responding, by asking different questions and seeing what works for clients and what doesn't. And so as you develop more of your coaching skills and coaching experience, this will increase your confidence and certainty. There's no other way around it. You've got to be able to get in and what I call get in the trenches and get your hands dirty, right? The blood, sweat, the tears. I had this conversation with Tony Robbins and I asked him, Tony, how do we keep quality in the industry in coaching? And he said, Joel, this isn't just a coaching thing. This is a way of life. He said, you have extremely overweight people that are going and getting personal trainer certificates, but they don't really keep fit. And you have doctors that will tell people they must keep healthy, but they're, around the corner on their lunch break smoking cigarettes, So he says, just because you labeled as something doesn't mean you're it. You got to be able to practice. You can't just dabble. You've got to get in and get the experience. And I thought it was very profound when he said that. So developing your coaching skills is going to be really important. Maybe you're taking on courses, reading books, reading articles, practicing coaching with your friends or your colleagues or your clients. But ultimately, you're going to develop your certainty over time. Okay. So have patience, keep showing up. The second thing is getting feedback. You've got to be open to getting feedback if you want to be able to increase your confidence as a coach. And you can't take things personally. I don't think anybody that is sitting there taking things personally all the time can be a great coach anyway, because your clients are following your example. So it requires for you to be able to ask for feedback from others who are experienced in coaching. And even from some of your clients, asking at the end of the session, like, how did you feel during the session? Was there anything that we might have missed? It's a good reflection for your clients, but it's also a good way to get feedback yourself in case you miss something so you can improve for next time, right? The third thing is, after getting feedback, is focus on your strengths. When you're starting out coaching, you're not going to be what we call the Swiss Army knife of coaching. You're not going to have every single thing under your belt, right? Like you're not going to just do business coaching and then on top of that, have mindset coaching, trauma work, relationship coaching under your belt, wealth building, trying to be a jack of all trades, but a master of none. And so I would say, look at whatever your strength is. Maybe you're really great with vision work. Maybe you're very good around procrastination. Maybe you're very good around healing wounds, or relationship coaching, or wealth, right? Finances. Just lean in on that initially, and you can always expand your skill sets out after. But if you're trying to do everything all at once, you will seem average across the board when it comes to how you position yourself in the coaching industry, and when it comes to your clients' experience too. So you want to double down on your strengths and just keep adding on top over time, right? I personally started with branding and marketing. Then I moved into vision work. Then I moved into trauma and wound healing and relationships. And then I came back into more trauma and wound healing and procrastination, unconscious repatterning, right? It's been this evolving journey. And it's going to be like that for you too. But I always lean into my strengths, right? I never try and do something else with no sort of experience or know-how. Like, I've gone and learned the skill sets. And this is what makes me a great coach and will make you a great coach too. The fourth thing is be prepared. So just know what your structure is going to be for your coaching session, and know, like, if you're going to improvise a little bit, and that's okay. Sometimes you may need to go with it, right? Because your client is driving and you're in the passenger seat with the driver. You're not steering the whole thing. You're just there to encourage and support. But it is good to know, like, where you want to be able to take your clients, what the road's going to look like, what the structures are going to look like for the session. Okay. So the more that you can know that, the more confident you'll be, because you won't be in your head thinking that you're losing control of the structure of the session. You already know where you essentially want to take it, but you've got this like end goal of where you're going to take it. Cool. Keep things on track. It might go off track a little bit sometimes when your client's going on a tangent, but you bring it back on track to reach that end goal. Okay. The more you practice this, the more you're going to feel confident that you're going to be able to rock each session that you have. Okay. Then we have the fifth step, which I think is super important, is practicing self-care. I have to do it. You know, sometimes when you're coaching, it can feel like a lot, right? Sometimes some people are projecting a bit, so it feels like you're an emotional punching bag. Sometimes if they're getting frustrated with the process, and that's normal, that's okay. I don't take that personally. I just go, cool, that person's just going through their process. That doesn't happen a lot. Sometimes you can experience that. And sometimes it can just be a lot that you hear and you emotionally take some of it on. So I imagine myself just like being in my space, having that protection around me, like, God, protect me, so I'm not taking on all this emotional baggage or this emotional charge, and just staying in my center. So that may mean that after your sessions, or before your sessions, or both, or in between sessions too, you might need to just go, sit down, close your eyes, maybe visualize or meditate for 5 or 10 minutes, maybe go make a tea, drink a glass of water, go for a walk. Walking is good for anxiety too. So sometimes if you feel a little bit of like you've had too much going on in one day, it's good to take a break. I take a break in between recording even these lessons too, and then come back to it. So that's it. Number 5 is practice self-care. And then on top of that, I would say visualize your success. So visualize in the morning, in the evening, before bed, just closing your eyes, running your mind through like a movie reel, because all achievement starts in the theater of the mind first, right? But running your mind through that reel and imagining yourself sitting down, rocking sessions with clients, having conversations with people that are interested in your coaching, jumping on sales calls with them, and then seeing even the money going into your bank account, seeing that you're creating these amazing experiences with your clients, and then seeing testimonials coming through, right? You got to train your mind to create this as a normal thing in your day-to-day in order for you to be able to even live it, right? You can't have a mismatch. You can't have this thing where you think that you can't do that and then it's happening in reality. It's never the case. It's usually that reality follows what the mind is conceiving, right? That's how you can achieve. So focus on that. And then, for me, I sometimes with clients, I pray, God, work through me as a vessel, make sure I can support this person the way they need to be supported. And for me to feel charged after this and more inspired to lead even more and do more of your work in this world. So, everybody has their own thing, their own rituals, their own processes to integrate and close out. But this will help to really build your confidence as a coach. And don't compare yourself to all the other people out there. You know, the name of the game is whoever stays in their lane the longest wins. If I have a vision and I'm visualizing it often, I'm not bothered with what other people are doing. What happens if you're driving in a car lane and you keep looking at everybody else? There's going to be at some point you'll crash. So I just say, stay in your lane. Don't look at other drivers. They'll do whatever they do. Unless you're doing a little bit of market research to see what's happening in the space, cool. But apart from that, it doesn't matter how many people look like they're getting lots of clients or how much money they're making or how many testimonials they have. You've got your work to do while you're here. Life is short, okay? So focus on you. Have fun with it. That's the key too. Have fun and keep learning and growing as a coach and keep getting results. It's a very rewarding job. You get to watch people come from the ground up, starting from scratch in the trenches to seeing them absolutely rock it. And I want that for you too, okay? So stick to it. This will build your confidence.